Look who's back. We were just talking about the Freon pipe being drilled into in Cincinnati.
Been there, done that.
Yeah.
You're long enough, you get to see it all.
Good to see it all, guys. How are you? Get some sleep, kinda? Kinda. Well, we'll just kind of have a free-for-all for the most part here. Just kind of casual thing. Yeah. So let's just start with your questions. We're going to try and get most of them out of the way for the players, but we'll rotate and let Don mix in here. Jim?
Jim Conley from U.S. College Hockey Online. Don, I don't know how much you've had a chance to scout Union on tape, but it does seem like the system they play, particularly structurally, is similar to North Dakota. Can you comment on that?
Well, we'll watch some more this afternoon. I watched both their games in the regional. They're an outstanding team. I mean, they're an older, veteran team. They've had a tremendous amount of success the last 3 years. They're balanced. With Bodie and Gostisbehere, they've got two really elite defensemen. They're going to jump up into play, very similar to what North Dakota's defensemen did. And so they certainly earned their way here. I mean, they've won 31 games, and not just this year, but the last 3 or 4 years. I think when they're back in 2010, we played them in the Mariucci tournament, I believe, and they beat us 3-2 in overtime. And even at that game, I said, you know what, that's a darn good hockey team. And then they went on that run the last few years and have been tremendous.
We've got the number 1 and 3 overall seeds, of course, in the national championship game. And since this format began in 2003, it's the highest seeded, if you will, national championship game on record. We've had a couple 3 versus 4s, but never a total of 4 between the 2 seeds. Ken, right here.
Ken Schatz, Schenectady Gazette. Don, to follow up on the Bodie Gostisbehere. Is that important to shut them down? I mean, if you do that, do you think that shuts down their offense?
Well, no, it's not going to just shut down their offense, but when you have 2 elite defensemen that can control the back end, one of them, for the most part, can be on the ice all game long. And, you know, North Dakota's defensemen were very offensive and very active in the play last night, so that's going to help us, I think, with the mentality we're going to have in the game tomorrow. But I think they're a deep team, and you know, from the goaltender right on out, they're elite at every position, and that's why they're sitting in the playing for a national championship tomorrow.
Okay, Don needs a rest, so questions for the players. Justin?
Jess Myers, USA Hockey Magazine. Nate, your coach said last night it was almost more of a feeling of relief than jubilation to have the game end the way it did after what North Dakota threw at you. 12 hours later, how does it look to you guys?
I think we're coming down a little bit now. You know, it was great how it happened last night. We're really happy for Justin, obviously, being a really selfless player for our team. You know, you're really happy when a guy like that gets a big goal like that. So last night, I think it was a great feeling. I think we were all just, you know, excited in the moment, kind of just taking it in. And, you know, hopefully the next game we have doesn't go down to the last 0.6 seconds like that.
Okay, right here in front.
Good morning, fellows. Tim Layton from the St. Paul Pioneer Press. Let's go with Jake on this one. How do you not suffer a letdown? After such a fantastic game, fantastic finish from last night, how do you not suffer a letdown going into tomorrow?
Well, it's just, I mean, it comes with our practice today. We got to have a good practice with the guys on the ice, and then keep to our schedule and our regimen. I mean, if we stick to our game plan, we're gonna have a good showing on Saturday.
Okay, Paula. Kyle, that's Marv next to you, by the way, in case you didn't know him.
Paula Weston, U.S. College Hockey Online. This is for Jake. Yesterday, Nate said that before the game, he kind of called out you and Justin and said, you know, you guys haven't scored a goal yet. And I was wondering if now you feel some sort of additional pressure that since Justin scored.
I mean, I'm more than happy that Justin took the cake on that one. That was a big goal, and I'm glad he got it. But I mean, I still got one more game, so we'll see what happens.
Okay, right here.
Yeah, Kyle. Adam Kimmelman from NHL.com. Kyle, how did you guys decompress after the way things ended last night? You know, to go, you set up the winning play. How do you guys kind of come down? Were you able to sleep last night, and what did it feel like this morning?
Not many of us were able to get to bed till late because we didn't get back to the hotel till like 12:30. But I think when you wake up this morning, you realize that tomorrow you need to play for a national title, then you better start getting your mind ready to go, because if you're not, you're going to come out and lay an egg. So I think like Jake said, we'll try to have a good practice and then get back to our normal routine right away.
Okay, further questions? Jess, right here behind.
Kyle, Jess Myers, USA Hockey Magazine. How does last night's ending compare to the end of your high school career? You're obviously playing on a big stage, scoring a big goal, or being involved in a big goal. You know, have you thought of any kind of parallels there?
No, I haven't really thought of any parallels, but it's way bigger. We're on a way bigger stage here. Back in high school, it was just high school and Minnesota deal. Now it's college and national. So, I mean, it was a way bigger goal for Justin there.
Ken?
Don Ken from the Schenectady Gazette. Expand on the Union game from a few years ago. What did you see in that game that made you think that this team was going to be a force down the road?
Talent. I mean, they were a very talented team, and they were on the cusp at that point in time. And obviously, with the coaches that have been through there, and Coach Bennett's taken it to a whole new level. But they had some very good players on that team. I think it was there were some guys that turned pro. I think there was another Bodie on the team, if I remember correctly. But just I was impressed by their talent level. They skated well. I mean, they were an older team back then, but that's their way of doing things. And I mean, you look at college hockey, I said it before the tournament began. I mean, the great thing about our sport is Union's on equal footing with Boston College or Minnesota or North Dakota or whoever they're going to play. And it's unique to our sport, but that's what makes our sport so great.
All right back here.
Scott McLaughlin, WEI.com. For Nate, your coach has talked about facing North Dakota's mobile defense. How it's probably the most mobile you've faced all season. What did you guys learn about playing against a D-core like that, and what do you have to do better tomorrow against another one?
Well, I think the big thing for us was our forwards. We had to be more sound defensively. When they got in the offensive zone, they ran a lot of high cycles, and their D really used their feet to change shooting lanes and things like that. So it was more of a matter of our wings had to, be more active defensively, and it wasn't so much of just standing out and guarding your point. And it was really you had to be involved and be communicating with the D cores and the guys that you had to switch with. They're in the D zone. So it was really, it made it a whole 5-person, 6-person effort in the D zone where you had to really communicate well. And, that was probably one thing that we picked up big early in the North Dakota game.
Right here.
Jason Gonzalez, Minneapolis Star-Tribune for Kyle. How did you see that last play develop? It seemed like you were just trying to chip out the puck, or were you trying to take a shot? And did you even see it deflect over to Justin?
Justin came up out of a breakout and gave it to me, and I just tried to get a shot on net and see what happened because I knew Justin was coming. But then got my shot blocked and ended up right on Justin's skate. He made a really good play to kick it to his stick, and then he just shot it on net. And I didn't know that the buzzer hadn't gone yet, so I was pretty nervous, and I saw everyone celebrating, so it was awesome.
Did you guys see the replays yet? Yeah. few times Sports Center, nice. All right, back there.
Chris Long from KSTP. Nate and Jake, it's just so rare that as seniors you get a chance to go out in a national championship. How much do you appreciate the fact that that's the scenario for you guys?
Nate?
Yeah, obviously that was our goal coming into the season. Us being seniors, it makes it even that much more special because it's your last shot at everything. And, that's kind of what's expected at Minnesota is that we make this game. And I think that, it's big for our class coming in that, when we were freshmen, we kind of struggled. And now that to be seniors and kind of hitting the, the top of where we can reach here, it's really just, it's great for us to think that we maybe had that kind of success while we've been at the program.
Jake?
Yeah, it's a dream come true. I mean, this is what you work for as a young kid, and finally get here. And I mean, as seniors, it's pretty special moment, and to share it with other classes, it makes it even better.
Okay, right back here in the front.
Tim Layton again from the Pioneer Press in St. Paul. Nate, this is for you. In 1980, a Minnesota guy by the name of Herb Brooks made a famous speech that big win against the Russian team wouldn't mean squat unless you were able to follow through and win the gold medal. Is there pressure on your coach now to come up with some words of wisdom going into tomorrow?
No, I don't think so. I think that this is kind of a self-motivating thing. Guys grow up playing or wanting to play in national championships and wanting to win titles. So while I'm sure coach has got something worked out for us, I think that it's going to be on us to get ourselves ready.
Tim, I don't know, did Herb Brooks use the word squat? Just kidding. Right here, Jason.
Jason Gonzalez, Minneapolis Star-Tribune. For Jake, you've been along with this journey with Justin from his transition to forward back to defense. How have you seen that journey for him? And Nate touched on how selfless of a player he is.
Yeah, he's. I mean, he in any position he's put in, he's always got a smile on his face. He's definitely here for our team. He's a team-based player, and as long as he's playing and helping the team out in any way possible, he's happy.
Jess
Myers, USA Hockey Magazine. Don, following on Tim's question, what do you have to do as a coach to get them not only physically recovered from what last night took out of them, but kind of mentally refocused after an emotional game like that?
Well, it's nice to have a day off in between. Obviously, it was a late night last night, so the most important thing we have to do is spend the day recovering, and that's where Cal, our strength coach, comes in. I'm sure, I mean, I didn't even crawl into bed till 3 in the morning. I mean, you're eating your post-game meal, it's 12:30 in the morning, you get back up to your room at 1. I mean, it takes a while to decompress, and here we are back at the rink at 11 a.m., but that's for another topic. So it just, we need to go through, 30, 40-minute practice today and recover, and then just get, mentally refocused. And we need to play better tomorrow to beat Union than what we played last night. I thought some of our young guys played tentative, and it's amazing sometimes when you're a little bit of nerves that your legs get heavy and they're not moving the way they need to move. I thought that we were fortunate in some regards last night to be moving on, but sometimes you have to find a way to win, and we found a way to win, and we stuck with the game until we made a play. But we have to be a little bit sharper and get pucks behind D and establish some more offensive zone time than what we did last night, because Union's a very, very talented team.
You guys are in the Flyers locker room, right? You notice any of the history? I mean, any players that you looked to growing up, or anybody on the wall that caught your attention?
These guys were probably not even born when some of those guys in the 70s. I can relate to those guys.
You can? Yeah? Anything stand out, guys, or nothing? You just kind of check it out? Or?
I know the goalies really appreciate Ron Hextall, so that was a great one.
Cool.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite goalies. He's got a couple goals, and that's more than me this year. So that's pretty good.
Anything else? Okay, Jason.
Jason Gonzalez, Minneapolis Star-Tribune. For the guys, or Don, Jerry York said Bill Belichick came and spoke to his team last week as motivation. Do you have anything like that coming in for these guys, or did you leading up to this week?
No, you know what? For me, it's going through this process. My big thing with our guys, I just want them to play well. I mean, you get to the end of the year, just play your best, and whatever is going to happen is going to happen. I think that you get to this stage, you've worked all year long. I mean, really, at this point, you hope your team's on, autopilot, because, if we got to push and prod at this time of year as a coach, that's all been done October, November, December, and we tell our guys all year long that, sometimes we're critical of them after a win, but we're coaching for the end of the year, and how important little details of your game become at this time of the year, because one mistake and your season's over. And I think our guys have bought into that, and so we've kept it with ourselves. I mean, we've had some of our former players send emails, and we posted them. You got the little poster, in our locker room with some of our former players, and obviously you get a lot of texts and emails from former players, and they want us to do well. And I'm happy for our guys to get to experience not only the Frozen Four, but certainly playing in a national title game. And as a coach, I've been on both sides. Won one in overtime, lost one in overtime. So I know how it feels each way. So just want our guys to be in a situation tomorrow where they feel they can play free, that they can play to win and play aggressively, because if you're going to play in your heels this time of the year, it's awfully difficult to win.
You guys hear from anybody unique? Anybody from your youth hockey days, or obviously probably your parents or teammates, or all of them? Nothing inspirational struck you? I know, you just got about 3 hours of sleep. We'll move on. How do you got the M right back there?
Megan Ryan from the Minnesota Daily. For Nate, your coach kind of talked about how some of the younger players were playing tentative. Do you feel like they've worked that out of their system now after this first game, and how do you as a senior captain kind of help them with that transition?
Well, I mean, obviously it's tough for them coming to the big stage like this, but, we play on a big stage all season, so I think that the freshmen have gotten used to it this year. But it was one of those things where our team has always been balanced all season. And when one line does has a tough night, and another line has a good night. So I think that it doesn't really matter who on our team. It's just there's always going to be someone that's going, someone having a good night, and we'll see who that is on Saturday. But just being a senior, it's just my job to kind of get them relaxed and get them ready to play. And playing with Cluse and Camerata has been a different experience for me, being the old guy in the line. But there's some good players, and I think if you get them to calm down a little bit, they'll be really productive for us, especially if they can use that offensive talent that they have.
Okay, we'll take one more if you have it. Okay, all the way in the back there.
Dave Schwartz, Care TV for Don and Nate. Have you guys noticed just a different confidence this season? How has the attitude changed in the postseason from last year to this year?
Don?
Well, I don't think it's changed. Puck goes in or puck doesn't go in. That's when you evaluate your team on the outside looking in. Sometimes I remember I got the question after we lost to Yale. Was that an embarrassing loss? And I said, Yale's a pretty good team, and lo and behold, they went on to win a national title. And so we obviously in our program have a lot of high expectations, especially from the outside looking in. And I was proud of last year's team. I thought they had an extremely good year. It ended suddenly, it ended disappointingly, but that's part of the NCAA tournament. This year's team had a chance to, obviously play in St. Paul and take advantage of that, and beat a couple good teams in St. Paul, and then, caught a break and won the game. So I've always said, you do this long enough, you're on each side. I mean, I said it last night, some years you go further than maybe you should have, and other years you don't go as far. But you just got to keep knocking on the door, and sooner or later you hope that you win that final one. And now this team has put themselves in a situation that they get a chance to play for a national title, and it just, you got to make the most of it. And that's something we talked to even our freshmen. You don't know if you're ever going to get back here again. So play your best game, and make sure you give it your best shot in the game tomorrow.
Nate?
Yeah, well, I think last year our team was pretty top-heavy. We had a lot of talented guys who are playing, regularly in the NHL now. So a lot of really skilled guys, and I think that we leaned on them heavily, whereas this year it could be anyone. It could be 1 through 4 in our lines or any of our defensemen that really gets our team going on any night. So I think that maybe the team aspect has really helped us this season and really pushed us to get here to the national championship.
7:36 tomorrow night. National championship game, guys. Good luck. Thanks very much.
Thank you.